Hi guys, so again I'm Mapagu
And I'm Ocampo.
and we're the duo behind Flora Fern Styling Co. So Love and I have known each other for 2 years now and we've been in the styling business for a year.
Yes, and we've worked with several companies like Peak Hotel and beauty brands like Bobbi Brown, Origins, and ADF, and of course with perfume. And we collaborated with celebrities as well. So all of that we did in a span of 1 year. So is anybody here like stuck on how they will find their niche? So if yes, so listen to our talk as we share our advice. Okay, guys. So first, we stopped and reflected. So I started my passion in styling back in school when I did art and design. And then that's when I really didn't think that I was really good at it, but then I really liked that passion of mine. And then when we moved to Middle East, we constantly moved houses. So yeah, there.
Okay, but unlike Love, I studied comp sci. Surprise! So I studied comp sci out of practicality and when I reflected, my parents were right when they said that I can always pursue the arts after I graduate. So I spent 3 years in HP doing SAP and I really had to faith it until I make it because guys, talaga ako techie person but I survived, right? But I was really sure that I wanted to pursue the arts later on. So, okay, so our next step was to actually explore our interests. So I remember Papa telling me to love what I do first, which is my current day job, and then eventually do what I love, as in later on. Because he wanted me to learn the discipline of loving something, parang embracing something you don't love, right? So while waiting for the right time, I did a lot of fashion projects. So I created accessories, sold them online. Tapos, I did fashion design, I did photography, and then it got me confused along the way. And then I prayed to God to just close all doors and just open one, and that was photography. So I decided to quit my job, pursue photography, and then from photography, it led me to styling.
So unlike Jamie, totally opposite. I really like the business that I was in. So back in college, I started to work in a home and design magazine, and that's where I focused on styling. So I did interiors, products, and of course food. But then as I was in the peak of my corporate job, God asked me to resign. So of course I got so scared because of course the monthly income would support my family. But then God told me that He's the author and provider of my life, so I shouldn't be afraid. So that's when I started to become a freelancer and focus on styling and blogging. And then so of course our next step was we exposed ourselves. So Jamie and I went to meet new people, do more activities, and that's where we actually met through Pursuit Manila, which is a creative community for women in the Christian world. So also this is just like Enspire Talk.
Okay, so when we became friends, so Love and I started working together. She was assisting me in my shoots, I was assisting her, and then we realized that we have the same aesthetics and styling. And then when I got engaged, I knew that I will be DIYing my own wedding with the help of our creative friends right there. And then one of them was Love. So guys, tignan naman sobrang ganda ng wedding namin, di ba? And then, so our wedding got featured in several wedding blogs. And then later on, we received several inquiries on event styling. And we were so surprised. And we didn't know what to do because we didn't have an event styling team. We were stylists separately. So basically, it pushed us to create our own brand and put up Flora and Fern. So that's basically because of our wedding.
Yeah, so we grabbed the opportunity when it was possible. So our story was actually just a leap of faith. So we realized we wanted to follow our hearts and gravitate towards what we really wanted to do, which was, of course, styling. So we focused on doing events and weddings.
So because there's no backing out anymore, we had to stand out in the industry, right? So we had to research for our competitors and we realized that most of the stylists can do any theme. So we decided to just focus on a specific style and be known for a specific style talaga. So, pag meron kaming inquiries na hindi talaga in line sa style namin, we had to decline them, and or sometimes we refer them to other friends who can accommodate them.
So actually, in just a span of 5 months, last October, we really got inquiries that really fitted the style that we wanted.
Okay. And then also, because we wanted to stand out, we also have to decide on our signature look, right? Kasi yung mga stylists may signature look. So for us, since I love raw and boho style, and while loves into industrial and romantic style, we decided to gravitate on our strengths. So, kaya, medyo, like, rustic, boho, romantic feel yung theme namin.
Yeah. So of course, we were really surprised. So since we have this signature touch, we really focused on the raw, and then we were so surprised. And then when our clients would send photos to us using the pegs as on their presentation. So
Yeah. So based on our story, guys, so finding our niche meant following our hearts, gravitating on our strengths, and really trusting that God is in control. Kasi diba, hindi naman talaga namin pinano mag-start yung team, but the opportunity came and we just grabbed it. And we believe that it's all God's design.
So in short, when you follow your heart, you have to expect that there's certain things you have to think of. So first, you should think of your challenges. So in every business, expect the unexpected. So for like the shoot with Heart, we didn't expect to have a different layout altogether, right?
Si Michi
Right,
to
Michi?
eh.
So we did a green wall and placed flowers one by one on it.
Okay, and then next you can follow your heart, but make sure that you keep on learning. So when we started, we were partnered with a florist to do complicated bouquets. And then eventually, one of our brides asked us to do her bridal bouquet. Tapos hindi naman talaga pa kami expert for that. So we decided to push through and take the challenge until we learn how to do bouquets on our own.
So our third point is to have the right attitude when you have a business. So you should handle your failure because it will determine how successful your business will be. And then treat everybody the same with respect.
So to end our presentation, so just remember that there's really no right formula in finding your niche. You just have to follow your heart, gravitate on your strengths, and just pour out everything into something you love. And for us, what also worked is, just putting God in the equation. It could work for you, or our story could work for you, or maybe, God has a different story for you. But I hope that our story has inspired you today. So thank you so much, guys, for listening. Follow us on Instagram, Flora Fern
Yeah, thank you so much. Grabe talaga. Yeah, please stay here.
Yeah, so do you guys have any questions for Jamie and Love?
Any questions? Hi, Athena. Any questions?
Any questions, guys?
Dennis, ikaw magtanong. May tanong ka?
Fernando.
Yeah, being Fernando. Do you have any question?
As an honorary assistant. Joke lang. Ano ba? Ikaw ba?
I don't have a question, but I have a response. So, it's just that response already. No, because looking at my sister, so everyone, this is my sister. I look older, but she's actually older. Yeah. See, she doesn't know. Yeah. So looking at my sister, it's really a testimonial that, there's actually a process, in finding your niche, whatever it is. So, hindi siya like, one morning gising ka na lang and then you wanna rush into things and then you're there. So yeah, it just really encourages me. So I think I'm following my sister's footsteps. That's why I quit my job as well, my job, yes. And then I'm trying to really, yeah, I think it affects me na, na you are my role model at the same time. And I see that, by following your heart, hindi, no, it's true guys, that when you follow your heart, you really get to do something that's great. Even if sometimes, it's true that you don't really earn a lot of money, but then you actually, your heart earns a lot, and actually that's just really amazing. And nakakatuwa din because with what you said, Mishi and Jamie and Love, parang there's a similarity with what you said na people actually helps you to define who you are. And I guess that's important to really listen to people and not just, just go on your own way to follow your guts, though that's important. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Kukunin ka pa na namin speaker sa next event, guys. Abangan niyo po siya. Gusto niya ata mag-speak.
Okay. I have a question here from Jamie's husband.
Wow. Gusto ko to.
Why are you ask me? Don't question us.
So, question from like the startup point of view. So having two people in a team is different from, of course, just having one. I mean, there's like decision making involved. So how do you like? You mentioned that you came from like two different schools, like industrial and then you said like Bogo. So how do you like magkasundo in like your design decisions?
Actually, it's funny because, as I said earlier, parang we have the same aesthetics and styling. Kahit magkaiba talaga kami ng mga favorite things to do. And our friends would know that. And I think that's also one of the reasons why we decided to team up together. Because like in every event, even if I don't tell her like what to do, she knows what to do, exactly what's on my head. And same thing with her. Parang pagdating namin sa event, tapos parang meron kaming 5 problema. Parang hindi na namin sinasabi, oh, ikaw na dito. Tapos sabihin lang namin, okay, I'll just go there. Tapos parang, oh, nasolve na natin. Ganun. So, I think it's also nice to, find a partner who will, parang, ano ba yun? Yung parang talagang mag-drive kayo sa maraming aspects. Hindi lang sa character, pati din sa, sa attitude, sa aesthetics. Because that's what you want to have in your team, right? Yung hindi mo na kailangan sabihan ng gagawin kasi alam na niya yung gusto mo. And same kayo ng iniisip. You have anything to say?
Actually, in every event that we do, what Jamie and I do at the start is we always pray. So parang, and then we discuss like what we want to do briefly lang. But then from there, we just segregate the information to the team, and then gagawa na namin siya. And then masusurprise na lang kami that tapos na siya. And then what we really like after every event that we look forward to is when we hear the couples thank yous to us. Parang nakakaiyak kami. Natapos na namin siya.
Also, to add to that, the good thing about having different experiences, different networks, is that, yun, iba talaga kami na experience. So may mga strengths ako na weakness niya, may strengths siya na weakness ako. So we complement each other talaga. Like, di siya magaling maggunting. Mag-ripon, gano'n. Hindi So, ayun. So, we're just satisfied.
Yay.
Okay.
Actually, I've seen them work all the time. I see them work all the time. Every time na kinukuha nila ako,
You help them work all the time.
Yeah. And even though you see how they're women, but pag nandun na sila, oh my gosh, kaya nila magbuhat na sobrang bibigat ng mga lugs and all this. So,
Because of you.
so yeah. So that's how passionate they are. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Jamie and Bob. Thank you so much.